Gym time. With these weird ass drinks that I've never heard of. I'm gonna get blown up in the comments because everybody's gonna be like, this isn't Bang, this isn't Monster. No, it's Gridlock. So if you got a problem with it, let me know in the comments. What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we have a bunch of important things to discuss. Obviously, you saw in yesterday's video, I was discussing the possibility of Litecoin ray tracing to $67, and I kind of want to touch upon that a little bit more today because things are getting very interesting and very, tightly wound within Litecoin and the markets. So that is going to be a very big talk in today's episode. So basically, we're going to look at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as EOS. EOS will be the second to last day. Tomorrow will be the last day. We discussed EOS for a couple of weeks before jumping into another altcoin of your guys' choice, so make sure to leave those in the comments, and then we will also be talking about the coin market cap. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. So guys, I'm on the current coin market cap, and as you guys can see, Bitcoin dominance is 52%, 24-hour volume is 40 billion, and then we see a market cap of 172.9 billion. So we are seeing a fairly stagnant market cap for the most part. We are starting to see a slight increase in the total market cap and volume, but really we're not seeing much movement at all, which is an indication of consolidation all around. As you guys can see, we have a Bitcoin market cap of 89.9 billion with a price of $5,100. Changes around 0.31%. We can see out of the top 10 cryptos, only 4 out of the 10 are in green. The rest are down, but really not down by much at all. You can see we are starting to see a slight increase in volume, but really not much at all. You can see majority of the market is pretty much not up or down by more than 1 to maybe 2% at that. Now, before we jump into the episode and the chartings, I do want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor for today's episode, BestChange.com. So guys, BestChange is an awesome platform. I highly recommend you guys check out. They do a lot of pretty awesome things, and it is a website that I actually use to pretty much avoid fees for the most part, or lower my fees costs. Mainly, a lot of you guys know that I do a lot of swing trades and I trade on an often basis, and now that Coinbase has updated to pretty much charging me on limit orders, which is so annoying that when I literally do a $150, $300, $500 trade, they charge you a couple cents. And when you do them often enough, it's kind of a lot to, deal with. So I know their website might look a little bit complicated at first, but it's actually quite easy to understand and use. And as you guys can see, it says right here, BestChange is a specialized online e-currency exchange service that monitors rates for dozens of popular conversion pairs in near real time and offers one-click access to lists of reliable e-currency exchangers capable of helping you complete your transactions quickly and efficiently. So it's pretty awesome all around. The table shows the best exchange rates for the 20 most popular directions. This way you can get a list of exchangers for some particular direction. You select your currency pair you are interested in on the left panel. So you can see right here, these are all the coins that they offer. So you can basically pick a coin that you want. We could do Litecoin to Bitcoin, and it will then show you that the best exchange that they offer. So you can see this is the best exchange. You can see the conversion. It'll show you their minimum fees. It'll show you how quickly it will take, and it's pretty much awesome all around. I mean, I use it a lot. It's pretty interesting. There's tons of different information you guys can check out. So by using bestchange.com, it's actually a way for me to actually save money and make better trades. So definitely check it out. The link is in the description. Make sure to sign up, check it out, and huge shout out to them. So guys, moving on to the current Litecoin chart. As you guys can see, there's a very interesting pattern forming right now that I really do want to discuss with you guys. And it's kind of very interesting, to put it at that. So guys, I told you guys a couple of days ago that I bought in at around 76.50, and I did hold that very well. But what's interesting to note is Litecoin on its 4-hour is in a very good but interesting point. It's actually right in between its high-low minimum moving averages. So we're not really going to see that $76 level just yet, but there's definitely a possibility of a price resistance or a price pullback. You can see that there's a lot of resistance at this $80, $79 level, and it is very difficult to pretty much tell whether or not we're going to break out or pull back. The reason I'm more concerned with us pulling back down right now is because of how long we've been hanging out at this level. which is an issue. If we hung out here for a couple of, maybe a day or two and then we broke up, or literally if we hung out for a little bit less time and then broke out, it would have been a much easier thing. But the longer we hang out here for, the more tricky it is to call a breakup, the less likely it is to happen. And the fact that we're pretty much hugging now our red band and not our green band is a bigger indicator of a pullback in existence. And a $76 fall, if not a $74 fall, is definitely here. We could even pull back all the way down to $69 or $67. Now, 67 would be the low. I don't see us breaking lower than that, but it is definitely a possibility. My main, projection is to pull back down to either our purple band of support or our yellow band of support. These 2 points are what I'm talking about there. And then here, if indeed we break lower than these, this would be the last level of support. I don't think we're going to really break much lower than that, but it is very concerning, and I'm starting to think that a buy-in opportunity will be here very soon. If we do fall to this level of around 74, that's when I'll throw in more. And then if we fall even lower to $68 and eventually $66, $67, that will, pretty much dollar cost average all the way down. That is my opinion on what is going to happen, but it is definitely a possibility for a pullback to take place very soon within Litecoin. You can see right here that there's really not much holding on to us. We're heading back down to a more neutral level, which is nice to see, but we're really not staying here for that long. It seems like we may actually break lower and potentially hit a $76 move before we start to move back up to the top. So I'm going to keep a close eye on that. Otherwise, moving on to Bitcoin and Bitcoin's daily chart, you can see, Bitcoin's weekly chart, you can see where the issue pretty much underlies and where we're seeing that pullback. Right now, we do have a major resistance of this green band at $5,200, which we seem to be rejecting and pulling back down lower. Now, we are finding a support right at around 48, the high 4800s or the low 4900s, which you can see we did have some keen resistance right here. And if I just zoomed in, which I'll do a little bit later, you'll notice that this is definitely a very, very, very strong support. Now, it does seem like we're stuck in between this channel, and I honestly don't think we're going to be able to break this $5,200 level pretty soon. It may take a little bit longer, and it's definitely a possibility for us to pull back down to our uptrend, this purple uptrend, before we can see some higher levels. And obviously, if that's what Bitcoin does, Litecoin is obviously going to do the same thing. Now, I just want to zoom into the daily to show you guys this yellow line a little bit clearer. You can see as I zoom out what it is that I'm referring to. So right here, this yellow line, you can see we've had previous resistance. As I zoom out, here we go. We've had previous resistance right here, which is a pretty big indication that that is going to be our support level. So now that I zoom back to our price, you can see that a very logical move would be for the price of Bitcoin to retrace back down to our purple uptrend, because of the fact that we're also, testing overbought once again. We're just finally getting out of our overbought level and coming back down to not only test our high low of MA, but the uptrend, which would inevitably, even out our RSI and lean more towards a higher, uptrend or a higher pull to the upside. This was definitely an unstable move, which I've been calling, and a pullback was definitely necessary. Lastly, for the three blue chip cryptocurrencies, Ethereum's basically doing what all the other altcoins are doing, and that is retracing back down to its previous support. And it is very obvious in which 157 is kind of the resistance for Ethereum. This is a very obvious resistance level. We have 1, 2, 3 confirmations of this being a resistance, which is a very strong one at that, and it would act as a support here. So I actually don't think we're going to be able to break through there. I don't think we're going to break lower. If anything, we're going to come down and touch this and kind of consolidate out. Very possible. Even move up to retest our $200 level, if not even 180. So pretty much something like this could happen. Pretty much just awaiting for this purple uptrend to kind of take us up higher, and then we can start, trading up above it. So something like that is definitely in the air. I do think majority of the market now is in a consolidation phase, in a pullback, phase, and then we can start to, trace back upwards. And you can see exactly what I mean by that on EOS, which is pretty much trading out sideways, moving sideways, and then eventually it should start to use its purple uptrend to start to move up like that. Now, if you've noticed that all my graphs are very similar, or all, Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, EOS, that's because we've discussed in the current coin market cap that they have very similar price movements. You can see all these, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, EOS have very similar charts. And that's why we like to use all of the charts to pretty much get a better understanding of where the market is headed. So that pretty much is going to wrap up today's episode, guys. I told you guys where my buying opportunities will be. 76.50. If we head lower down to this purple line, I'll buy in there. Then the yellow uptrend, and then lastly our bottom support at $66, $67 will wrap up my dollar cost average, because I don't think we're going to fall much lower than that. Otherwise, guys, giveaway at 10,000 subscribers. Make sure to check out our sponsor for today's video, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Peace.